Hey everyone, it's Monday morning, and yeah, just still trying to get over the whole Man United Liverpool game, how we lost 3-1 to Liverpool. That was bad. That was really bad. It's gonna be a long week. Anyways, let's talk about it from a coach's point of view. So there is so much wrong with that game and how Man United approached it and everything that's going on now after it, and it's been a rough it's been a rough morning. First off, we played extremely defensively, but it is supposed to be Moto Monday, so I want to start with something positive, at least pretty positive, and then move on to the rest of the stuff really quickly. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is the positive thing, and that is basically how well we looked when we did attack. We did attack a few times and looked like we had some solid chances and stuff like that. And when we did do that, we looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, we looked really good when we went forward and attacked. The players were basing it off of just pure instinct, but their instinct is really good. There was no real plan or anything like that, and that comes from management and coaching, and there just wasn't anything there for them. So like I said, they were going off of pure instinct, and it looked pretty good at times. So again, the potential is there to go and play attacking football for the squad, and they just don't go and do it. And that's clearly done because the manager tells them not to. So with that being said, let's talk about everything else. So the way we set up was, very defensively. I think it was a 3-4-3, if I remember correctly. But the wingers and Delo and Young were basically, they turned it into a 5 defenders kind of system. And Matic looked terrible. Herrera just didn't seem to have his head in the right place yesterday. And then who else? Oh my God, can't even remember anymore. I must have blocked it out. But yeah, we had Delo on the right side and so on, and it was just rough. It was rough, and there's no movement forward or anything like that. There was no plan to do that at all. It was just absorb as much pressure as you possibly can and hope that just hope. just hope. There wasn't even any direction in our hope. That's how bad it was. And I've never seen anything like that before. It was the worst I've ever seen this club play, and I'm very sad right now. It's very sad. So with all of that happening and everything like that, there was a little bit of raise of hope with Rashford and Lingard trying their hearts out and everything like that. Lukaku looked terrible. And I just got through watching the other day an interview with Lukaku, and he was talking about how he can improve on his touch and everything like that, and he can win balls in the air, and that never happened. I think he won once the whole time, and there's a statistic going out where Liverpool had 36 shots on goal. Every single one of their players on the field took a shot on goal, besides the goalie, and we only got like 6 or something like that. So it was an absolutely abysmal performance, and this is rough. This is really bad, and you can't even say that we're a bad team or anything like that. We just didn't go out there. We didn't even go out and play, and I just wish that we would have, because every time we did go out there and play, even if it was just for a split second, we looked really solid, and we looked like we had so much potential, and it's just sad not to play against that potential. And I think it's even worse. I would rather almost that we suck, because then we can just be like, all right, well, let's just turn this around and do this and this to get out of there. But to see the potential there, to be so close yet so far, and lose that in that way, without even going out and playing, it's depressing. That's the truth. It's just depressing. So let's go over really quickly about how this, how we are where we are, and what I would do or what should be done from a coaching perspective to get the club out of this. Now, the first thing is, of course, it's the board's fault for even bringing in Mourinho as the manager in the first place. And the reason why it was a bad decision and it's their fault is because, as I've said before, Manchester United has always been an attacking football style club. Those are the players that we attract. Those are the coaches that we attract. And that's just our identity. And there's other clubs that play defensively or counter press or whatever, center field press, whatever you want to call these stuff and strategies. There's other clubs that fit that type of strategy better. But Manchester United is and always will be an attacking style football club. And Mourinho is not that type of manager. So bringing him in the first place is totally 100% on the board. And then when Mourinho came, he said that he was going to be playing attacking football and that he was going to need some time. Okay, cool. No big deal. That happens, but they did win the league, and then they won the Europa League, which, big deal. The first season. And then I think in the second season, though, we started to regress. It was just being disguised with luck, really. Just luck. Just getting these, squeakers by last season and, just barely getting out of, getting that second place position. And, he just isn't playing attacking style football, as you could see, and it's not working out for any party in this situation right now. It's really just regressing in a way that it's going to be almost unrepairable, if not taking an extreme amount of time to bring it back. And that's why you need to let this Mourinho guy go and start over. and it doesn't even need to be, there doesn't even need to be another coach or anything like that. Even if it's just Michael Carrick just taking over and saying, all right, this is, boys, this is how we're going to go out there and play now. And I think that if something like that were to happen, just on the atmosphere alone, that would make the players play a lot better. They would have somebody who believes in them, who's got their backs, they could just play with a little more freedom, a little more energy, a little more passion, a little more excitement, a little more confidence. So with it falling down to Mourinho like that in that situation, it does come down, and a lot of people have made this comment before, it does come down to the players playing with their own pride, or for their own pride. And I completely agree with that. I do. I really completely agree with that. It does come down to their pride. But here's the thing, is that the players now seem to be beyond that even. And here's what I mean. Last season, it looks like they were playing off of their pride. And that's why they were, getting these come from behind victories. Same thing for earlier this season. You would see us go back and get scored on, and then we'd come back and score almost immediately. The same thing happened in Liverpool even yesterday, where they scored on us. 9 minutes later, we scored on them, and we fought as hard as we could. But it seems to be just like, there's only so much of that you can do. At some point, you need somebody to have your back, and that needs to be the manager, it needs to be the coaching staff, it needs to be the board, it needs to be the fans, and all that stuff. And we have their back as fans, but that only goes so far when the manager or the coach doesn't do that for you. Those are the people that you look up to. Those are the people that you look to when you're in, when you need anything, you need somebody to fill you with confidence, and that usually is the coach or the manager, and Mourinho isn't doing that for anybody right now. So with the players being just completely drained, they really don't seem to have anything left. And here's kind of the proof of that. I just read a report, that Anthony Martial was not willing to sign a new contract, but Manchester United just a little bit ago, as I'm recording this on Monday morning, and it's 11 o'clock right now, that Manchester United activated excuse me. Manchester United activated their 1-year clause on Anthony Martial's contract, which means that they are extending it into 2020. Because he's not willing to sign a contract while Mourinho is at Manchester United. And that just goes to show what is going on at the club. And it's just awful. It's awful. It really is. It's just so bad. So what that tells me is that, when I think about it, is that it looks like the club is not willing to fire Mourinho until the end of the season, and that's probably because they don't want to pay him the $20 million that he would get if they were to do so before May. And instead, in May, they only have to pay him, I believe, $5 million, if I remember correctly. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But they aren't willing to fire him then. But it does seem like they are going to let him go at the end of the season, which is better than nothing, I guess. But that's why they are activating this 1-year clause for Anthony Martial, because they want to hold on to that player until after Martial is gone. Because why else would they, do such a thing? Otherwise, they would just let his contract run out and try to sell him later on or in January, and just be done with it and wash their hands of it. But it does seem like they do have some sort of a plan as to what is going to happen next. Now, I've also read that there's rumors going around that the Glazers might be selling the club for $4 billion, but that is just rumors right now. Hopefully that's true, and hopefully that's soon. And maybe that's why they activated Martial's 1-year extension. And I'm hoping that that is the fact, and that things start happening for that situation really, really soon. So I'm sorry for being so sad and depressed and monotone today, but there's not a whole lot for me to be optimistic about. There's a bunch of stuff that's going on right now. It's depressing. It's sad. I wish that things weren't the way they were. I wish that they were more positive. But yay, I'm here. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough week, and I hope that things on the training field start happening in a more positive manner, and the boys start playing with some confidence. But I'm not going to get my hopes up. I will be there watching the game. I will be cheering them on. I will be supporting my stuff, or wearing my stuff. Gotta represent, But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, I'm going to go watch some cartoons or something like that, because I got to go coach this afternoon. Yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to kick that like button and subscribe to stay in the game. See you guys later.